Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. Joined as always by my main man at FFSnoog. And, we have training camp rolling around. We have so many guys that are rising up boards. Snoog and I are going to give you our 6 biggest risers from that first week. Snoog, we got real football back, right? Like this is the last time that we're not going to see a game. We're starting to see these guys actually at camp, getting passes from their quarterbacks, looking sharp. These guys, it's hard not to overreact and get that hype. And right now on today's show, what we really want to do is talk to you about the 6 guys that are rising up the most, who to overreact, some of them to, not put this on the back burner. But Snoog, I love this time of year, man, because you see all the training camp hype videos on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere. We're in the thick of it right now.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one, especially this show, talking about 6 guys that we really like, that we're confident to be risers. And obviously it's looking like that throughout camp. So I'm excited. People are running routes. People are getting back into the speed of things. People are separating themselves. And you can kind of I know everything's taken with a grain of salt when you're talking about training camp and all the rookie stuff, but you can tell when someone's moving different and making plays, especially when they're dominating their own defense, who should be able to guard them the best out of anybody in the league. So I'm excited to talk about some of these guys here. I know you are as well.
Well, and the nicest thing, the part that I love about this is all 3 of these guys that each of us are covering are on brand of who we've been saying since February to buy.
Yep.
And like that's the biggest thing at Smash Accept is a lot of you guys are just tuning in for the first time. A lot of you guys are just like, hey, this is a new show. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been bringing out that content. We're trying to help you guys absolutely smash your leagues. The first guy, and iron sharpens iron. I got to tell you guys, when we do rankings, I'm the market research guy, right? Like this is what a guy is worth to me. Snoog, when he believes in a guy, he goes ahead and he moves them up above. And the first guy was Emeka Egbuka. He had him, I believe, now all the way up to his Dynasty wide receiver 18. I moved him from my 27 all the way up to Dynasty wide receiver 20. And Snoog, there's a lot of things to love about his game.
Yeah, obviously some of the things that we loved about him as a prospect. I mean, he led Ohio State all time in receiving yards and receptions. Ridiculous company there with some of the guys that have come out of there, even all time, not even just recently. And he's a 19th overall pick, so he got elite draft capital. But he profiles as a fantasy football matchup nightmare. Like out of the slot, that bigger bodied guy, 6 foot, almost 200 plus pounds, yak machine, catches everything thrown his way. And Baker Mayfield has highlighted that very early on. Like this guy's different. He's like young Chris Godwin. So this offense with that entire offensive line, that offensive weapons, like learning from Mike Evans, learning from Chris Godwin, in a year or two, Emeka Egbuka is going to find himself. Like I could see him having like that Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson type spike where he has 1,000 yards as a rookie and jumps into the top 15. Like that's like a best case scenario. I think worst case scenario, he puts up like 800 plus yards and just has like a roam type rookie year, but still holds value because of the name cachet. So he's dominating, and I'm excited for that offense because Baker, dad, guy you were all over last year, just threw for 5K yards and over 40 plus touchdown passes. I think there's a damn good chance he does it again as well. So
what I love about his game is you're looking at a guy that wins on all 3 levels and can play all 3 positions. Like he can go anywhere at that wide receiver position. And if Evans misses time, he can fill in that spot. If Godwin misses time, he can fill in that spot. Right now, we have him as our super flex equivalent of the 106. Snoog, if you're drafting today, I think he has to be at least the 106, right? I mean, you're still taking Genty, Tet, Hunter, Travion Henderson. I still have him, I would take Cam Ward over him because I think he's really rising up boards. But I think he's in that tier now of Travion Henderson, Cam Ward. He's past Quinshon Judkins. I think he's in that 5 through 7 range. And really close, to be honest, in that 2 through 5 tier. So if you're still drafting, I would 100% make a move for Emeka Egbuka. Yeah. The other thing that I really want to talk about is Snoog. He would clearly be the wide receiver 1 next year. Like it's not 100%. Even close. And what guys aren't realizing right now is they're like, well, my 26 first could be early to mid. I mean, he's worth at least the 105. You could argue all the way up to maybe the 103 in next year's class. So I'm trying to buy him wherever I can with my 26 first. Some of these trades, and like we try to do, we try to bring you content where we're showing you actionable advice. And we're over here on Dynasty Data Lab. The first one, I mean, I understand it's tight end premium, but straight up for TJ Hawkinson?
Yeah, he's way over Hawkinson for me. Yeah, that's not even close. There's no room for Hawkinson to really gain value at this point. Like 28, 29 years old, tons of season injuries. Emeka Egbuka like a fresh start out of college, 21, 22 years old in a bread and butter situation long term. There's just so much more to gain value. And that's, biggest training camp risers, Dad. Just this time last year, you absolutely crushed Dynasty Locks game value. And I think Emeka Egbuka would make that list for us this year.
Yeah, in the next trade here, and obviously the news is kind of tough with Joe Mixon. You're a Joe Mixon guy, but Joe Mixon and Luther Burden for Egbuka and Braylon Allen, and I think Braylon Allen is a guy that I'm trying to buy everywhere just in case Breece Hall, this relationship with the Jets and Breece Hall doesn't pan out. He could potentially be a starter here. This is an absolute smash. Except I can't see a reason. Even if you take Allen out of this, I'm still not doing the Egbuka side. Even another second. Some other trades here that are really kind of like Brian Thomas Jr. and a pair of 20, or Brian Thomas Jr. or Egbuka and a pair of 27 firsts.
I want Egbuka there.
That's close.
I think Egbuka, right? I don't think he's on Brian Thomas Jr.'s level by any means, but I think he could be like the Brian Thomas Jr. of this class where he's kind of behind the top guys, but then just throws up 1,000 yards and balls out and then gains a ton of value. So he's definitely the guy that could be like that.
Like this trade we have here from Kyle Wynn. Thank you very much for the super chat. Guys, we're going to be doing a live show. We're going to be trying to cover as much of our content, but we'll always cover super chats to try to help you out. What's Egbuka's value on this day? We just covered that, right now, the 105, maybe the 106, 105 in that range for 25. Same with 26. He said a guy is trying to send me ETN and 27 first, 27 second
take that
for that value. Yo, I'm not just taking it. I'm smashing that. As much as I like ETN right now, this is the way I look at this trade, right? Late, you crush it. Mid, I think you're going to have Egbuka will be he's already a top 24 dynasty wide receiver. He will be and could potentially be higher in 2 years, Snoog. If Evans, you got to think, Evans is 31 years old. He's got one more good year left in him, maybe a second one, right? And then that's it. And then Godwin, we're not 100% sure. So in 2 years, he could be the wide receiver one tied to Baker Mayfield. You could see some monster type numbers, and you and I kind of comped him to a Amon-Ra light. We were just this is a guy that we think has a ton of upside, Snoog, that in the right situation could just put up monster numbers.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I'm super excited about with him. And there was one on there too, where you can even tear off Travis Hunter and Tedroy McMillan and get a Kenneth Walker, or maybe a Chase Brown and give a second, or get a late first or mid for whatever it is. But there's a lot of opportunities to buy Emeka Egbuka still. And it doesn't have to be just you give up a first plus. You can tear back off some of those guys that are priced high.
Yeah.
Drake London, Garrett Wilson, get a first or 2 firsts on top, throw a piece back. So good plays there for Emeka.
Yeah. I think the interesting one to me is Tedroy McMillan and a third, or Walker and Egbuka. What's the gap now? I think the gap right now, between McMillan and Egbuka was clearly a mid 27 first about a month ago, right? Now I think it's an early second, maybe a late first, and I think that's the way you want to go. We got another question here from Jaime Angel. After our draft in waivers, Dobbins, Sampson, Chubb, and Jarquez dropping Corum for 1. Do I drop Pittman 2? And what's the order for you? Okay. I am not dropping Michael Pittman yet, just because I think we're past that. I would 100%. I want to get your input on that, but I am dropping Blake Corum for 2 of these guys at least. But what about you? Blake Corum, you and I liked him last year. Jarquez Hunter is the guy. That's a nice list, dude. The fact that you got Dobbins, who could be a starter. He's my first on this list. Sampson, who's going to be rising up boards. He's my second. Chubb, we don't know what's going on with Joe Mixon. This news is brutal, where it's we have this injury. He's on that non-football injury list. And Jarquez Hunter, who you love. So what are you doing here? What's the order for these 4? I have it the way he has it.
So any way I can get them all?
Right.
I think you probably want Sampson the most, just with the Judkins news right now, I feel like. Oh, it's probably – I like Jarquez a ton too. I definitely would drop Corum for any of them. Is there any – I think the question would be, hit us up in the DMs and let's see if there's anyone else other than Pittman we could drop. There probably is someone, but –
He's in the Discord. Hit us up in there, brother. We'll take care of you. That's a good one. The next guy for me, Snoog, is Odunze. Odunze, I have one spot above Egbuka. I have him as my wide receiver 19. I don't fault you or anybody else for having Emeka slightly higher, but Rome right now, and it's tough because you got to look at beat reporters. You got to look at what's going on in camp. And every time I turn around, I see a Odunze highlight. And every time I see a beat report, they say, dude's literally unguardable. Right now, Caleb Williams sounds like he's struggling a little bit to get the system down. DJ Moore has not really been someone that's been talked about a lot, but they say Odunze and Colston Loveland are literally open every single play. These dudes are unguardable right now. I think Odunze, this is the breakout. Like, these are the guys where last year, like you said, we did those locks to gain value. Last year it was a lot of these guys. I think Odunze and Emeka Egbuka at the wide receiver position are literally locks to increase in value. They're tied to elite level quarterbacks. They're both in that 21 to 23-year-old range. Like, these guys are too cheap. The other day I paid a late 26 first and oh gosh, no, it wasn't Rith. And Stephon Diggs. I'm fine with that, right? Like, Stephon Diggs is going to give you production, but Stephon Diggs is 31 years old. I have no problem if I'm going to sell all in for a guy like Odunze. Similar type value here. I think he's worth in that same area as Egbuka, that 106, 105 range. I think that's what you're going to get. And what you're really going to notice by these is the 2026 class is not as good as the 2025 class, period. They're not there. I mean, I think if you can buy these players for your 26 first, and that's really what you need, I'm okay doing that. You're going to have some nice running backs in next year's class. Jeremiah Love, Nick Singleton. You're going to have some solid quarterbacks. You got Lenora Sellers. You might have, I highly doubt you have Arch Manning, but there's going to be next to no wide receivers. I mean, Jordan Tyson and Makai Lemon,
Carnell
Tate. That's about it. And none of those guys, right? I posted something the other day and the guy was like going off about it saying, well, it's too early to do that. No, it's not. Like, none of those three guys project as a top 15 pick. Odunze went in the top 12 and Emeka Egbuka in that year's class would be drafted wide receiver.
They're going to be juniors and none of them have done anything other than Jordan Tyson. Like, Carnell Tate has an excuse, I guess, but like Egbuka, like this time last year going into his sophomore year was like already 1,100 or going into junior year was already like 1,100-yard guy. Malik Neighbors was ridiculous. Like, all these guys are studs already. Usually in those elite wide receiver classes, you get at least a few cemented that are already studs within the freshman or sophomore year. And if you don't, then it's usually like Brian Thomas Jr. that comes out of the woodworks and puts up 1,500 yards. But like, it's not how often that happens. So it's
let's take a look. Let's take a look at some trades that pop up here, because I mean, I've seen him in my leagues go for way too much, and I've seen him go for nowhere near enough. So what we're here to do is always help you guys have some actionable advice to say, this is our trade, right? A lot of you guys reach out in the DMs and you're like, Dad, this trade doesn't make sense. And it might not, right? But what we're here to do is give you guys trades where you're like, oh, that's a good idea. I like that. Snoog and I made this, that we started doing these YouTube shows like this because him and I would think like this, right? Like, this is a trade that I was thinking about. Snoog would be like, oh, damn, I'm about to make that trade. You know what I mean? I would do the same thing, so we're trying to bring that stuff to you.
Love this one right away. I know you're going to love it too. Caleb Williams, Odunze stack. Throw another mid 26 second on top, or Joe Burrow.
See, I really like Joe Burrow. I think the gap between Caleb and Joe Burrow is a first. But if I can get Rome, who's right now a
foundational wide receiver.
So you could potentially, after this year, have a foundational wide receiver one, a foundational, QB one, and get yourself. There is some risk in there with Caleb, but I think Rome is going to kill it this year. So I like that.
What about this?
What I would try to do is get a 1-2 swap. I doubt you're going to be able to do it, and then settle for the second.
What about this one? I know this is one of your guys here, and I actually really like this player from an NFL perspective. But I think teaming up with this package is worth it. I think you're taking some assets that aren't really super, super valuable, and Keon Coleman in a 26 second on top of Jamison Williams to go up and get Odunze. Are you willing to pay that, or is JMO and Rome kind of closer for you where it's not worth giving up like 2+ seconds on top in value?
I would 100% do either of them. If that's a late second, I'm okay doing it. I do think JMO is grossly undervalued. Like
Yeah.
he's either going to stay here in this Detroit system that thrives, or he's going to leave and get an absolute bag. He's in a contract year. I hate trading wide receivers in contract years. Like that's when it comes to wide receivers and running backs on their contract year, I just want to see them ball out. They're literally incentivized. Not saying that players aren't normally, but it's like, I'm about to get paid. Like I'm going to stay on the field with that minor injury. I'm going to go out and I'm going to, show everybody what I'm worth. So I think that's fair. I think Keon Coleman's the real difference maker, right? Like some people think he could break out. Some people think he's just going to continue to be a turd sandwich.
Yep. Last one here. Nice little tier up option again. Adonai Mitchell, a guy that we think is super talented, just not in the right system and probably won't ever really be able to get it done while he's with the Colts, unless, Pittman leaves and some things open up there. But him in a middle late 26 first for Rome in a third. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I'm taking that all day. I mean, Rome's a great buy. Snoog, you know what else is a great buy right now? The Smash Accept Patreon. Right now we've had in the last 24 hours, we've had 15 people sign up because people are like, yo, dude, I get Dynasty and Redraft from one place, and we got you covered for everything, man. We're talking about I have right now, shout out to Derek Davis. He's working on the top 250 for us to get charts so you guys can see what everything looks like. In both Dynasty and Redraft on my side. You get Snoog's rankings, my rankings. We got Superflex equivalents for every single player. I mean, it's everything, right? And then the coolest part is I had a guy reach out and he's like, Dad, I got a startup this week. I need some help. And I said, Snoog and I offer startup assistance. Our DMs are in there. But the coolest part and what I really love about Dynasty and Redraft is that on the clock room. We have an on the clock room where you go in there and just ask the question, and an hour later, you'll have 20 responses of like who you should draft at that spot. We offer so many things there that other people don't, that we have a room for startups, a room for orphans, a room, literally anything you can think of, room for commissioners just to kind of debate things. If you want a fantasy football forum where you can cover everything, this is it. Patreon.com/Smash Accept. We have you covered for as low as $5 a month. And then we have it all the way up to, VIP and all access, where there are guys that I give them my cell phone number, you give them your number. We literally are there. Like in season, we're here for start sits. We're here for literally everything. We're trying to treat every single team like it's our own. And every single team Snoog has right now, he's trying to buy George Pickens.
I knew that was coming.
Man, George Pickens. I put the blue in the background on the Smash Accept for this show because of George Pickens. I am seeing him at camp, Snoog. He looks like a little kid. He looks super excited to play football again, right? You saw him with the Steelers, and it was like, bro, what am I doing here? He looks pumped. He's with Dak Prescott. He's with CeeDee Lamb. They're doing secret handshakes on touchdowns. Like, he looks motivated to get a bag, and George Pickens could be that guy. I think you're getting a wide receiver, too, with an insane ceiling if CeeDee Lamb were to get hurt.
That's what I was just going to say. Is CeeDee Lamb's drawing all the attention away. He's getting like the number one guy every single time. George Pickens is going to literally dominate every number two he goes up against. And he finally has a stud quarterback. Like this Dallas Cowboys offense, there's no better situation for George Pickens, right? Like he's playing he's playing the outside role to an alpha in CeeDee Lamb. He's going to get all the red zone opportunity when he's going to probably realistically go out there and put up 1,000 yards and 10 plus touchdowns. Like that's very doable. I think that's what he's marked in as. Like I think his line's like over 9.5 or something in DraftKings for touchdowns or something like that. I saw on Twitter, which is crazy. But like, yeah, there's a real chance that with his talent, his outside ability, his ability to play the boundary, win downfield, win in the red zone. Like you put that all together with a good quarterback and in a system where he's the number two guy, like in a pass heavy offense, he's going to probably be a guy that can put up 1,100 to 1,200 and 8 to 13 to 12 touchdowns. Like I still think he's a lot like an Allen Robinson type of player. And we saw A-Rob be a dominant outside boundary receiver his entire career. So I like Pickens got that swag, and that offense is so fresh with Pickens and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah. And right now I have him as the super flex equivalent of the 110 in this year's class. Like and I think we're, it's slowly crept up, right? When he was in Pittsburgh, it was 204. When there was rumors of him getting traded, it was 202. When he got traded, it went to 201. Now it's up to 110. And Snoop, we've been there all along saying, buy George Pickens, right? And you could have bought him for the equivalent of Trey Harris, for the equivalent of Cam Scatterbo. Now you're giving up Tyler Warren. You're giving up, Caleb Johnson, RJ Harvey. And that's why we keep telling everybody, like, if you're in on the ground floor for what we do for this podcast, you're making money, because right there, you're figuring out who to draft ahead of time, who to trade for ahead of time. And George Pickens is that guy for us. Let's take a look at some trades here. Again, over on Dynasty Data Lab. Love some of these moves. I mean, let's take a look at the first one. George Pickens or Audric Estime in a pair of seconds.
Yeah, like,
what am I missing?
I haven't seen him really get moved for a first. I saw 2 George Pickens trades the past 2 weeks since all the buzz. I think one was 2 seconds and one was a second, and I think it was Diggs in a third, something like that. Like, he's still not priced like he should be.
And we're still ahead of the curve. I mean, this one, Terry McLaurin and Tyrone Tracy or Pickens in a 27-second. Would you rather have Pickens or Terry straight up? Like, unless you're all in, it's got to be Pickens, right?
Pickens is I think talent-wise, they're on the same level, and they win in very similar ways. They're like those just nasty deep threats that catch everything, and they make big plays. Like, they're the same type of player, and one is 5 years younger and a better he's not in a better offense, but a good enough offense where it's close enough. Like, he's not Daniels is number 1, but he's Dak's number 2, which is still good.
You're going to love these, because this is what I'm really trying to do, right? Is we're getting Cortland Sutton in a third for Pickens, Sam Darnold in a third for Pickens. This is really what we try to do, right? If those were seconds, I'd still take it. I mean, am I crazy to think that Sutton in a second, I would still rather have George Pickens? I just feel like people are too low on him. You've got to go out there and you got to shoot your shot.
Yeah, he's an absolute stud. I mean, I think, like we said, it's all about opportunity and upside. And with a player and skill set like George Pickens, winning downfield, winning in contested catches, winning in the red zone, you need a special type of quarterback for that. And we saw Michael Gallup, very similar style of winner. He wasn't on George Pickens' level as a talent, but before the injury, early in his career, he won in very similar ways, and Dak fed him. And Dak put the ball in the right spot, and I think he had 1,000 yards at one point in his career. So it's Pickens is going to have, especially those days where CD gets really locked up and double teamed, it's going to be 150 yards for George Pickens going his way on 7 receptions. So it's going to be fun.
I had to smile. I mean, I'm getting comments on the live stream. I'm getting comments on my other screen I have over here from the Discord. I got my cell phone on the other side getting comments. It's good. This is crazy. Everybody's excited. Everybody wants to talk about these kind of things. Snoog, I got one right here that I think you can get done, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to do it. Amon-Ra St. Brown or George Pickens in the 103. So let's just say Hampton's been going 102.
Yeah.
Pickens and Ted.
Or Connor.
It's still Brown,
it's
right?
risky.
It's still Amon-Ra. Yeah,
it's risky. I think it's missing an early second.
I have a lot of people really reaching out to me, and they're like, "Dad, you love Tet. Would you Tet in a pair of first for Jamar Chase?" I'm like, "Whoa.
I just did that.
I just did that. They gotta be. You gotta have an opportunity to. I know. I advised you on that one.
So that's going to be 101, and then the 27 first. Decent team. I think there's a chance it's top 6. So
that's the difference, right?
It's worth it. I'm getting Jeremiah Love, and I'm going to get a stud. Yeah,
I know. I love that. Man, I mean, if we could get Jeremiah Love to play with this guy. Drake Maye has gone from my dynasty QB 12 to 10 to, you're going to hate me, but I literally just moved him above Herbert and Caleb Williams. I am that bullish on Drake Maye right now. I'm loving what I see at camp. The elite throws are there. Dude looks like Josh Allen. Yeah, you and I were talking about before he was coming out. Him and Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, and Drake Maye have very similar, the way that they run the ball, the way that they take care of the ball. Drake Maye throwing dimes on a run. I think they're all in the same tier. So anybody that's going to be
he's my 9. I got him 9.
Yeah. I had him 9 up until this show, and I moved him up to 7, and I'm bullish on it, and I believe in it. When it comes to the quarterback position, I find my guys, and I love them, and I stick with them. Right now, I think he's the equivalent of the 101 in this class or the 101 plus in 2026, right? If you really need a quarterback, Jeremiah Love's good. Drake Maye's special. Drake Maye is going to be someone that I think is going to give you elite level return. Snoog, I did it as my 6 breakout guys. I just did a tweet on it. The first 4 guys we have are all on that show. Drake Maye is my number 1 quarterback for a guy that's a clear breakout. I mean, you can get him in round 8 in redraft, which is wild. I keep seeing him fall to round 3 in dynasty startups. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you smoking? Drake Maye is going to be a round 1 startup pick, if not early, at least early round 2 by next year. In our sharp leagues, he's been going mid-second. He should be in that range. He's in the same conversation pick-wise as Ashton Genty. I think next year he's definitely worth more than Love. And I'm here to buy it. Like, I am here to go ahead and give me Drake Maye in a first for Burrow. Give me Drake Maye in a first for Jalen Hurts. And again, hopefully they're all mid. We're looking for mid or better. Mahomes in any first, I'm sorry, Maye in any first for Mahomes. Those kind of guys, like, there's a disappearing middle class of quarterbacks, right? We have 4 that you would consider that are elite. And then there's that Mahomes, Herbert, Williams, Maye. I think Maye's that guy that ascends himself. I know you like Caleb. I love both of them. I think they're going to continue to rise. So let's take a look at some trades here when it comes to Drake Maye, because he's a little bit more pricey. I have seen people sell everything but the kitchen sink for him. And then I've seen that people sell Geno Smith in a random 27 first. And I'm like, who's selling for that? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, right away. I love this one. This is like the key. Like, you're tearing back, especially in a rebuild. And we talk about this a lot on the show, Dad, is Joe Burrow and Jordan Mason turn that into Drake Maye, a mid 26 first and a 26 second. Like, that's just
And then next year we'll just say, hey, here's my 26 first, give me a 27 first. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What about this one? I love this one. I think you will too. Jaden Daniels or Drake Maye in a 26 first and 27 first.
2 first. See, I was not, man, dang. How do you not take that? I love Jaden Daniels, but you have to take that. Like,
that could set you up for life. That could change your dynasty team forever.
The only way I'm not is if they're like, Snoog, you and I have some teams where it's like, there's no way it's anything worse than the 111 or 112. And then even then it's fair, right? And this is what I love doing, is making trades that I think I'm trading for a floor, right? So if you tell me it's Maye and 2 late first, and you bank it as that, and then it becomes Maye and 2 mid first, 2 early first, now you're winning.
What about Matt Stafford and Amari and Hampton or Drake Maye?
Give me Drake Maye all day.
Yeah.
The Matthew Stafford news
Drake Maye all day
has me really worried. I'm not going to lie. Like, as a 40-year-old man myself, I get back pain. I get it. Matthew Stafford has had problems with that in the past. They said he might be ready week 1. Snoog, we're a month away, and he say might be ready. That scares me. My Matthew Stafford shares it.
Was that today?
No, it's been this week, but like he's out of training camp. Jimmy Garoppolo, I would hate that so much. Devontae Adams is so pissed off, right? Like, you remember all that wide receiver show where he was just talking about getting lit up? Now he might be his quarterback again. And I sure let Matthew Stafford prayers up. Love you, brother. Let's get you out here. Maybe his wife can motivate him again. So the next one on here, that was a low blow. I'm sorry. The next one on here really is kind of, I want to talk about draftkits.co. Snoog, I'm going to throw this up on the board, but this is one of my favorite products that we talk about every single year. Can you see it?
I don't.
It's not up there yet. There she is. All right. So draftkits.co, you guys go over there, and that's not .com, that's .co. Right now, you go over, you use code DAD25, and you will get 10% off if this would load before presenting. Oh, we got to remove this one. All right. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a boomer moment. There we go. Let's get it up there. It does not want to come up. It literally is. There we go. There we go.
It's fighting
All right.
back.
Hey, they make the best boards. Honestly, I love their product. Like this one here, we're looking at the Jaden Daniels, and we offer 10% off if you use code DAD25. We've given away 2 of them on our live stream. You can get them customizable for wherever you want. If you live in the Washington, D.C. area, you want to get Jaden Daniels. The Eagles area, it's Saquon Barkley. Every single team, you can get a different background for whatever area you are in the draft. Snoog, what I love is you're getting a high-quality product where you're going to get stickers that you're going to be able to have and reuse every single year. Or you're going to be able to reuse the board and just buy new stickers. You have high-quality stickers you put up on the board. I love doing it face-to-face drafts. Like, there's just something different about it. Getting together with your boys, having a couple of drinks, throwing that up there on the board. Draftkits.co. Use code DAD25. Back to your regularly scheduled programs with Snoog and I. I love their product. Honestly, it's one of the ones that I believe in the most. I have not bought another draft board since they reached out to me 5 years ago. I have not bought another board. It's the only one I use. Dynasty Dad approved. This is Snoog approved right here. We're talking Kenneth Walker. Right now, the Dynasty RB15. Snoog, if you knew that Kenneth Walker was going to stay healthy, how high up would you move him?
He would be definitely top 10 for me in that like Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, like Judkins type of range for me, because he has the talent and the skill set and the situation to be like right there with those guys and outproduce those guys. It's just the injuries that you got to worry about with him. But, they already came out. Clint Kubiak, the new offensive coordinator for the Seahawks, and their head coach has come out and just talked about how dynamic he is, how explosive he looks, how talented he is as a receiver in the run game in this zone run scheme that Clint Kubiak wants to run. It's just a match made in heaven for him in this run-heavy Seahawks offense, and the offensive line got a bit better this year. All the metrics aligned to him having a breakout season. I mean, just last year, I think he had like almost 10 touchdowns in like just a short amount of games. He was averaging over a touchdown a game, pacing over like 1,000+ rushing yards again. Like he's done it. He did it as a rookie. He's flashed it. He had like almost 17 points per game last year. He was like top 4 in receptions from the running back position, averaging like 4.5 receptions a game. So, yes, Charbonnet's good. He's a good handcuff. He's just not Kenneth Walker. And I just think people struggle with like understanding that there's a big skill gap and big gap just talent-wise between the two of them. The difference is Charbonnet can stay healthy. Kenneth Walker can't. So
that's the biggest difference.
Best insurance running back to own is definitely Charbonnet for the upside. But Kenneth Walker, Dad, you want to talk about that contract year, him, Breece Hall, Jameson Williams, a lot of these guys are on it. He's going to be one of those contract year running backs that throws up, 1,300 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns and gets paid. Like, I truly believe that.
Yeah, and while we do this, if you want to bring up the Dynasty Data Lab again here so we can talk about some Kenneth Walker trades. Right now, I mean, you look at him, Superflex equivalent of the 107 or even the 105 in 2026. Snoog, I mean, I personally have him at the 108, but I mean, would you rather have Egbuka, Ward, and Walker? Would you take him over either of those? I would not right now. I would take him over Harvey, Caleb, Warren, and Judkins. Like, if you can get Judkins, if you can give up Judkins in a late second and get Walker in a third, I think I would do that right now. I'm starting to worry about Judkins a little bit more here as the days go by. Next, let's take a look at these particular trades because some of these just don't make sense. And the first one's right off the board. Tony Pollard in 2:26 seconds for Kenneth Walker and Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson just got paid. Jake Ferguson's first year as a starter was top 10 in every single category. Like this, he's going to have a bounce back. I love that because you get a much better prospect. How about, and I hate these kind of trades, but Jahmyr Gibbs or Kenneth Walker, 26 random first, and we're going to call that, say, the 105.
I want Walker there.
I can't do it. I don't know.
I get Hendo with Travis Hunter, maybe Taylor Hampton, depending on the league, and then I get a random 26 first on top of Walker. I don't love trading Gibbs ever, but like you're getting a lot of value to work with here. Take the 105 and go get AJ Brown, throw second on top. Like there's a lot you can do with that 105. Or you just get 2 top 12 dynasty running backs and a 26 first for Gibbs. I think that's a good move to make. It's a 3-for-1. I
like this trade. I mean, Elik Manor and a random 26 first for Kenneth Walker. If it just takes a throw-in third-round pick rookie and a mid to late 26 first, go get Walker. You know what I mean? Make sure you have Charbonnet. I think the best situation is teams that already have Charbonnet. You just go out and get Walker for a first, and just get him in there. Charbonnet, I'm paying almost any second next year because I want to make sure if Walker doesn't, like there is that situation, Snoog, where if Walker balls out, they re-sign him, you're going to get an RB1, right? There's also on the flip side narrative, if Walker gets injured again and Charbonnet, this would be 3 years in a row where Walker loses time. You could have 2 starters. Walker's going to leave. He's going to start somewhere else. Charbonnet's shown the skill set to start. I think you have a really good player there. I think you're set. My last guy, it's no surprise. It's Chase Brown. I've moved him all the way up to my Dynasty RB11. Snoog, the offensive coordinator has come out and say this offense is going to funnel around Chase Brown this year. I have him in redraft. I've been getting him in the late second everywhere. Snoog, if you talk about a running back that is going to get funneled targets, goal line carries, and they're going to make the offense revolve around him when we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals, damn, right? Like he, from week 9 on, was unstoppable. He was a top 5 running back. I'm really bullish on Chase Brown right now. Like I've moved him to my 106 equivalent. I would say the 104 in next year's class. I'm really close to making a trade where I got to give up a pair of seconds to move up with Judkins to move up to get Chase Brown and Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen's going to sign. I'm kind of going back and forth there. This guy, honestly, is a late bloomer. I saw someone post this. I don't know who it is, or I would give them credit. Reminds me a lot of Austin Eckler's career arc. Right? Like Austin Eckler was there.
He plays
and
like him too.
He's the same build. Like, and Austin Eckler was good because of, he had the good quarterbacks in place, right? He had the goal line work and the receiving work. And Chase Brown could be that guy. Like, I think he's the perfect guy to tear down where I can get a 27 first on top of Saquon Barkley, 27 first on top of Devon Achane. I'm trying that everywhere. Since most of my leagues are smash accept leagues, nobody's taking it. But let's take a look at some of the trades here because like most of these guys on this list and most of the things that we do at smash accept, I think these deals can get done. Like I think Snoog and I are ahead of the curve on most of these guys. We're here to help you. So let's talk about some trades.
Yeah. Are you willing to give up just a random 27 mid to late first for Chase Brown? Because I am done.
At this point, I am done. Do it. Snoog, the 27 class is elite at the top, but everybody acts like every pick now. If you put a 27 first in a trade, it loses on a Twitter poll. Like everyone instantly loses their mind. They're like, oh my gosh, someone traded a 27 first. You have a 12.5% chance that pick is going to be Jeremiah Smith. You know what I mean? Only one team, and this happens every year when you have a really nice player like a Jeremiah Smith and a Bijan Robinson, a Ashton Genty. What happens? Everybody tanks for that pick, and it just becomes harder and harder to get.
Yep. Yeah, I think the thing with Chase Brown, too, that people don't understand is like when you're on an elite, high-scoring offense like that, and you're the clear guy and you're getting the receiving work and the red zone work, it's like, I don't care how, like, even if you're not an elite talent, you're still going to be good. Like, and Chase Brown's a good player, and he's explosive, and he's fast, and he hits home runs. Like, he's in just the perfect situation in this Bengals offense. What about this one here? I think this is juicy. Bijan Robinson or Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown.
I love Bijan. I mean, I do, but I think you're getting more than that mid first. I would ask for a second on top of this yet, but I think Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown are both going to ascend up. Like they're both guys that I'm all in on.
Yep. What about Sam Laporta or Chase Brown?
So the premium's going to matter. If it's straight up, if it's, like there's a lot of teams where I have Bowers and Laporta's my tight end too. So I would not have a problem there. I have Laporta worth more, especially in premium, but I think you're onto the right track. I mean, a 1-2 swap, Chase Brown in a second. I think I would consider those kind of things. And we're here to help you guys all offseason. And the offseason is soon to be over. We're here to help you guys all season. What's really been exciting to me is just seeing how many guys, I mean, this particular thread, the amount of questions we've gotten, absolutely insane. You guys are out there. You guys are grinding. You guys want to be part of a community where you're going to talk 24/7. Join the Smash Accept Patreon right now, as low as $5 a month. A lot of you guys have already joined. A lot of guys have made comments of this is the best $5 I've spent. I had 3 guys join this month. Within a day, they upgraded, right? They were like, I just want to check it out. Next thing you know, they upgraded. One guy upgraded from basic to VIP to all access. He's like, I can't get enough of this stuff. He's like, I just want to be part of it. So that's what we're here for. Thanks again for tuning in, guys, and enjoy the process.